Let me tell you about a fascinating story Jesus once told, the parable of new wine and old wineskins. You know, sometimes the simplest stories carry the deepest wisdom, and this one is no exception. Picture this. You're in ancient times, and winemaking is a crucial part of daily life. Everyone knows that when you make wine, you need somewhere to store it. Back then, they used animal skins, basically leather bags, to store their precious wine. These wineskins were amazing containers, but there was a catch. Here's where it gets interesting. When these wineskins were new, they were soft and flexible, like a new leather jacket. But as they aged, they became rigid and brittle, kind of like how that leather jacket gets stiff and cracked over time. Now, when Jesus told this parable, he said something that probably shocked his listeners. No one puts new wine into old wineskins. But why? Well, here's the fascinating part. New wine isn't just sitting there quietly, it's alive. It's still fermenting, bubbling, expanding. If you put this active new wine into an old brittle wineskin, what do you think happens? Boom. The old wineskin can't stretch to accommodate the expanding wine, and it bursts. Now you've got a mess, broken wineskin and spilled wine. Nobody wants that. This story isn't just about wine storage techniques, though. Jesus was making a profound point about change and transformation. He was saying that sometimes new ideas, new ways of thinking, new spiritual truths, they need new containers. You can't always force new growth into old patterns. New wine, Jesus teaching the gospel, is active and expanding. Old wineskins, Judaism's legalistic structure, can't contain it. The new covenant needs new vessels, open hearts, transformed lives. Think about it in your own life. Maybe you're trying to build new habits while clinging to old routines that don't serve you anymore. Or perhaps you're attempting to embrace new opportunities while holding onto outdated fears and limitations. Sometimes we need to be willing to create new wineskins in our lives. New mindsets, new approaches, new ways of being. The beauty of this parable is how relevant it remains today. We're constantly faced with the choice. Do we try to force new growth into old patterns, or do we have the courage to create new containers for new experiences? Just like those ancient winemakers had to choose the right containers for their wine, we too must choose the right containers for our growth and transformation. Remember, sometimes the best way forward isn't trying to make the old work for the new, but being brave enough to embrace completely new ways of thinking and being. That's the timeless wisdom hidden in this simple story about wine and wineskins.